This is Whiskey Whereabouts. I'm Tim, and a couple days after this video is released, the channel turns 2 years old, and we sort of established a tradition now where we celebrate Buna birthdays. And to commemorate that anniversary, I've opened up a fairly unique single cask, 6-year aged in a Canasta sherry butt, Bunnahabhain. We got a good one. My whiskey journey has taken me to Scotland and back. I've explored whiskey education, tastings, and distilleries from Islay to Speyside. And now my journey continues here, with you, on Whiskey Whereabouts. So before I bring out my pour of this special single cask Bunnahabhain, I do want to say thank you. Thank you for watching these videos, subscribing, liking, leaving comments, everything. All of that has helped us over the last 2 years get where the channel is today, and so very much appreciated. And this is the second time I've teased this on the channel, but if you look at the subscriber count on the channel, we're getting close to 2,500 subscribers, and when we get there, I'm opening this Bunnahabhain. This is Bunnahabhain 25 year, and I have been waiting a while to open this for a special occasion, and that occasion is going to be 2,500 subscribers. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe below with that little logo that's over there in the corner, and the faster we get to 2,500, the faster I can open this bottle and share it with you on the channel. So I poured a dram in my Bunnahabhain Copita glass that I brought back from a tasting at Warehouse Number 9 at the Distillery on the same trip where I personally purchased this bottle and brought it back with me. It's a 200 ml, sort of small bottle. It's labeled Maturation Warehouse Hand Filled, and it is sort of available different single casks, sort of to-go sizes in the shop at Bunnahabhain. So this specific bottle is distilled in 2014, and it was bottled in 2021. It's a 6-year, and it is 61%. And it was aged in a Canasta sherry butt, and that is a variation on sherry. It's a blend. It's described as a cream sherry, a blend of dry Oloroso and sweet PX. So you've got both of those influences in the single cask, aging this pretty nice color. It's pretty rich. It's pretty, coppery. Going in on the nose, neat on this whiskey, and big nose. Doesn't overwhelmingly abrasively hot until then you take a deeper pull. You're going deeper, trying to get more of the notes deeper in the nose, get down into the glass, and it hits you. There's the heat. It is 61%. It's hot. It's young. There's a sharpness to it, but there's all that richness that's sitting beside it, so it doesn't get overwhelming. In terms of flavors, lot of sherry flavor and the sort of rich sweet sherry flavors, brown sugar, raisin, chocolate. Underneath that, there's that salty coastal Bunnahabhain kind of foundational sort of element underneath. That sweets are stacked on top of it. You go a little bit longer, there's more going on here, and it's brighter raspberry, and there's like peanut. Again, the salt. So a little bit lighter fruit element. Yeah, almost a perfumey sort of floral. The longer you sit, the more this seems to be opening up. Going on the palate neat now, and I would say that this whiskey's been open probably about 10 days. Really hasn't transformed a lot, but I am finding, at least on the stage with the nose, that it is sort of opening up a little bit, showing a few of the more delicate notes, more so than it was on that neck pour. So here we go on the palate. Yeah, pretty huge mouthfeel here. It's big, round, rich, hot. In terms of flavor, salty caramel sweet, chocolate, and vanilla. But raisin is pretty strong from that sherry. That peanut element again, it's that saltiness that's running through, and it's sort of manifesting, I think, to me in that way. As you hold it in your mouth at this ABV, it starts getting really peppery. You're getting that tingle on the tongue, sort of black pepper heat, and not that much more sort of dimension. It's pretty straightforward, but all of the flavors I just described are really, really rich. Now for the finish, it's long and it's hot. I still have sort of a warmth here, kind of in the center of my chest and kind of in my throat as sort of the finish continues to develop while I'm talking to you. That black pepper almost kind of goes to numbness, from the heat as the finish rolls out. But there's plenty of flavor coming in with the finish, and it is a lot of the same. It's that sort of salty caramel. There is a wave of that nuttiness, and that sort of develops into the oak tannins. So not just the sort of peppery heat, but some of the bitter is there, and behind that you've got a nice wave. It's less salty and condensed, a little bit more vanilla cream, again with the nuttiness, but it's chased again with that pop of that berry. Very similar to the tail end of the nose. Here we have that sort of, I would say, almost blueberry now. Not quite fully tart, but not a sweet berry, offsetting all of that rich sweetness. So this is 61% single cask whiskey. Probably gonna want to try it with some water. Okay, so we've opened some stuff up here, and it's hotter on that first nose, but it doesn't have the same sort of wave of heat when you go deeper onto it. So it's sort of a middle ground between those two kind of levels from the neat nose. Yeah, still a lot of the sherry flavor here, but there's something else that I'm getting. Orange chocolate, pretty prominent here. Oh yeah, there's a leatheriness here now, a really fresh sort of oiled leather, baked spice, sherry spice. So the water has not washed out this nose. It has opened up what felt like very condensed sweetness has opened up now, and I've got some citrus sweet. I've got spice now. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice on the nose with the water. Let's see about the palate, though. Vanilla caramel swirl. Dominating. There's still nuttiness, salty nuttiness, which is nice. It's satisfying on the palate, right? Offsetting some of the sweetness. And there's a definite, more prominent oaky element now. The wood is more present. It's not very sherry spice. The way the nose went a little bit more sherry. This is giving off a lot more bourbon cask elements. Yeah, there's almost a honey, like a honey flavored candy almost, not like real honey, in the mix. And these I think of as bourbon cask notes. And this is obviously, a sherry cask, and with the water, I'm getting the sweet, sort of foundational sweetness without a lot of the spice, a lot of the citrus, and some of the other elements. It's delicious. It's not as complex. It's much more sippable. And if I'd already sort of really appreciated this whiskey and just wanted to pour while I was just sitting, this is probably an improvement if I'm just going to sort of sit and sip it, because it is delicious. You want another sip. With this palate, especially since it's a little bit more manageable with that ABV. On the finish here, with the water, it's so much more sippable now. Really, it's still long, plenty of flavor, but it just isn't coming off nearly as, I was talking about black pepper tingle, verging on numbness, and that there's still that liveliness, that peppery sort of lively kind of sensation on the tongue. It's more oaky. It's still long. All that sweet richness. Some of the subtle notes kind of been washed out. I'm talking about that berry and talking about some of these notes that aren't just straight kind of vanilla, chocolate, almost border chocolate, sort of rich sweet. This is one that is young and big, single cask. Nobody sort of blended this into shape for us. And this one, I think, benefits. In the end, it's a single cask sherry matured whiskey that's a little bit young. And we've all been there, right? You know what that means. And what I like about this one is that it's big and rich. That big, lively, hot ABV. It's a little bright, it's a little young, but there's so much richness here, even though it's only been in the cask for 6 years, and there's just enough. That sort of Bunnahabhain, sort of salty kind of element is coming in, offsetting all that sweetness, bringing something else, some dimension. This is not the most complex whiskey I've ever had. I also feel like it is improved with the water, but it costs a little bit, just a little bit of dimension, and there's not that many dimensions to this whiskey as it is. I'm going to certainly enjoy the rest of my small 200 ml bottle here, and I think that's 4 1/4 glasses, and it's a single cask that's long out of date. We're not going to do value on this. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to leave that final rating 4 1/4 glasses. And I hope you enjoyed sharing this special little bottle that I brought back from Scotland with me today. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to hit that 2,500 subscriber mark. You can hit this big button right over here, and I will see you on the next one.